Hi, Mimosa.
Amy.
Welcome, everyone. It's another episode of Naturopathic Hangouts. Today, we're going to talk about hair. And Mimosa wanted to talk about hair because she's been seeing lots of patients with concerns with hair loss. And so we all want vibrant, beautiful, smooth, vibrant, glowing hair. So I thought that this would be a good time to talk about naturopathic approaches, natural remedies for hair loss, and what could be the causes of these things. So, what's up, Memos?
Yeah, so I've been getting a lot of questions from family members, from friends, from patients about hair, and everyone, that's something that everyone's dealing with, hair loss and dry hair, and just, like their hair just isn't as nice or smooth and shiny as it was when they were younger. And so they would come to me and asking if they have any recommendations about supplements or shampoos or anything like that. But then there's so many other things that could be associated with hair loss that's besides just the hair itself, since hair is just kind of like something that like a symptom of underlying conditions. And so what we do as naturopathic physicians is that we have to find out what the root cause is. And so I always tell my patients, okay, we look at everything from diet, from water intake, from stress levels, and then beyond that, looking at labs such as the thyroid panel and looking at the adrenal glands, and just like do a basic complete blood count test and chemistry metabolic panel. And so one of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of people that do have hair loss and dry hair, it's a symptom of hypothyroidism. So I figured we can talk a little bit about hypothyroidism, what it is, what you should look for, what you can ask your doctors about if they're not doing these labs, and some treatments that I've seen work and that I'm trying on different patients.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so very briefly, for those who don't know what your thyroid is, since we're going to talk about hypothyroid, and so the hypo in the hypothyroid means an underactive thyroid gland, and your thyroid sits right along your trachea. It's kind of in a butterfly shape, and what happens is from your pituitary, the different hormones go to your thyroid that says, okay, start producing thyroid hormones, and over time, that isn't working. So you're not producing the proper amounts of thyroid hormones for the rest of your body to metabolize, stay healthy, and regulate your temperature and regulate your metabolism, and also keep your hair and skin supple and glowing. So there's some labs that we can do when you talk about diagnosing hypothyroid, and this also includes an autoimmune condition called Hashimoto's, and that's when your thyroid has antibodies, which is different cells that are actually attacking the thyroid gland. So over time, you have hypo, which is underactive thyroid. Yeah.
Yeah, and so your doctor would run a T3, T4, TSH. Hopefully, they'll also run a reverse T3 and some thyroid antibodies. And so on your labs, if you see high levels of TSH, so TSH is made into pituitary, and then it kind of tells your thyroid or your thyroid to produce T3 and T4, which are thyroid hormones. And so when your TSH is high, it means that there's not enough T3 and T4. So the pituitary has to produce extra TSH to tell the thyroid to produce T3 and T4. And so when there's not enough T3 and T4, it goes back, and so there's more TSH. And so on your labs, TSH will be high. So in the conventional world, your TSH is considered normal if it's between 0.5 all the way
To 10.
up to 10. Yeah. But then in like naturopathic, like when we look at it, we want your thyroid hormone or your TSH to be in the optimum level, which is from 0.5 to 2, 2.5.
Yeah.
In that range, your thyroid is functioning at a better, faster, much a better rate than the conventional route. And then when your TSH is low, it means that there's already too much T3 and T4. And so your pituitary doesn't need to produce a lot of TSH. And it's because your thyroid is already producing too much hormone. And in that case, that's hyperthyroid. but today we're talking about hypothyroid. And so that's something that you should definitely look at and tell your doctors if they're not looking at that.
Yes. And so I guess now we can talk a little bit more about how we would treat hypothyroidism. What are the other organs involved? So whenever we talk about thyroid function, you have to talk about also your adrenal glands and your liver. So I'll talk a little bit about the adrenal glands. These are small organs that sit on top of your kidneys. They're kind of like a cap on top of your kidneys, and they produce the stress hormone cortisol, which means that whenever you're stressed out, whether it's in your mind or you're actually like running or you have a presentation, this produces high amounts of cortisol, which is your stress hormone. And what we like to see on what's a salivary adrenal test, which is it picks 4 times of the day where you do a spit test, and they'll test how the levels of cortisol are. So we like to see a curve that kind of is increased in the morning to get you running and up and at it in the morning, and then kind of decline it as the day goes by, and so you can fall asleep at night. That's what we like to see in an adrenal salivary cortisol test. And if that isn't the case, then you might have something that's the cortisol is higher in the evening, which means that we have to dial that down and kind of manage your stress more appropriately. We have different adaptogens, which are stress, kind of like how you respond to stress, how much buffer you have to handle the different stresses in your life and manage that. So there's different herbs that we can do. Also, just a lot of diet and exercise. Everything in a more holistic approaches that we do as a naturopath.
Yeah, and then the liver, that's also a really important organ. So you have 2 thyroid hormones, T3 and T4, and so T3 is much more active, and so the T4 is converted into T3 in the liver. And so if your liver isn't functioning right or there's something going on, then you're not making that conversion, and so therefore you're going to be having the proper amounts of thyroid hormone, but it's just not going to be as active. And so that can also lead to a low thyroid function, and it's going to cause symptoms that we all talked about, such as hair loss, dry hair, cold intolerant, weight gain. It's definitely important to really focus and support the liver and adrenal glands as well as the thyroid gland.
And a lot of the things that we do as naturopaths is take care of our digestive system. So you can't really go without talking about the health of what you're choosing to put into your body and your daily choices of diet, and also how your food is assimilated and processed throughout your whole colon, and making sure that you're able to actually use the energy that you're putting into your body as food. So the health of your digestive system with the good and bad bacteria and everything also relates heavily with all the functions of your different organs. So that's very important too.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
So you want to talk about what you would do for hypothyroidism, Mimosa?
Oh yeah, so definitely get patients on a very good anti-inflammatory diet. So anti-inflammatory means low red meat, and the meats that you eat should be, organic, free range, just like clean meats with no antibiotics in it. A lot of vegetables, a lot of leafy green vegetables, lots of fruits with fiber, lots of vegetables that are hopefully organic, a lot of water, and avoiding foods that are processed, that are fried, a lot of foods that have preservatives, sugar, irritating foods such as like really spicy foods and caffeine, like those things.
Yeah, a lot of liver irritants too.
Yeah. So it's definitely important.
And other things I would like to do, I kind of brought something that I bought at Urban Outfitters. It was $6, and I was just rubbing around. They have a section of like all these quirky books and everything, and this is a good way to stimulate the different nerve endings and blood vessels at the top of your head. And so you can do this about like 1 to 5 minutes a day, like when you're relaxing at night. It kind of messes your hair a little bit, but I mean, at that time of night, maybe you don't have anywhere to go or impress anybody. And other things that Mimosa and I like to do is jump on our trampoline and do a lot of skin brushing, which also helps the lymphatic system. So whenever you talk about circulation to your hair, which is sometimes considered like the tree branches or the leaves of a tree, like you're the roots and it goes up, and then what comes out is like the flowers and the leaves of a tree. So to keep that circulation going through the entire body, you have to make sure all your blood vessels and your lymphatic system is clean so that it can kind of support and nourish those like distal endings of your body. So.
Yeah, and making sure that your body has enough minerals, especially, that's especially important too, because in your body, when your body is deficient in certain minerals, it starts taking it out of your bones, your nails, and especially your hair. And so giving your hair the proper minerals, and there's a lot of different blends out there containing silica, containing boron, containing what else?
That's a good one. Yeah, we also do those trace mineral drops too.
Yeah.
So you can add that to your water, or even like really citrus fruits like lemons and oranges. Like all of these have a lot of good minerals and vitamins too.
Yeah, exactly. And all of those things, if you give if you give your body the proper vitamins and minerals and the nutrients, then it will function much better, and it'll replenish all the things that your body is lacking and lead to hair growth. And oh, and also there's this you can also use rosemary essential oils and mix it in with coconut oil and rub that on your head maybe once every few days, or even once a night, rubbing that into your head and massaging it. And so rosemary, it allows blood to circulate. So a couple drops in maybe a tablespoon of coconut oil, and then rubbing that on your hair at the roots. Yeah. And it also stimulate blood flow, and therefore hopefully leading to some hair growth. And you can also put a couple drops of rosemary essential oils in your shampoo and conditioner too. And so washing your hair, that will be definitely be good to nourish like the roots and stimulate blood flow and hair growth.
Awesome. So Mimosa and I had a professor when we were at Naturopathic Medical School who developed his own formula for like shampoo. He added what he wanted to do was take a bottle of biotin shampoo. So you can find these at your natural health food stores. Just a shampoo with a predominant amount of biotin, and you take about 10% of that out and put in a whole like essential oils of the rosemary or tea tree oil or a mixture of both, and also some melatonin. And so that's the mixture. If you also want to look at PubMed, there's a lot of research on like the different essential oils affecting perhaps some like fungal growth of on your hair or scalp that's preventing the growth of your hair. So doing those essential oils is also antimicrobial, antifungal, and the biotin and the melatonin kind of stimulate the anti-inflammatory and the growth of the hair. So that's a quick little shampoo if anyone wants to try that out.
Yeah, definitely. Those things, I feel like that really helps too.
What else, Mimosa?
And we kind of touched on this about stress. I feel like every single time we talk, stress is something that we it can be applied to every single condition, since it's something that we all experience, and it's something that is very damaging to the body, and it could lead to so many different conditions and complications. And so making sure that you have a way to release your stress, acknowledging it, and kind of have some ways, like an outlet for your stress. And there's a lot of different things that you can do, and a lot of supplements and vitamins and minerals and herbs that you can take to help your body adjust to the damaging effects of stress. So that's definitely something that is important when talking about all of these conditions.
Right. Yeah, I think it's very interesting because when you talk about your emotional health, which is kind of a direct link to how you're doing in terms of managing your stress, sometimes you have to open up like lots of things that, have been suppressed deep down, whether it be like different people when you were younger telling you, hey, don't be so emotional, or don't do this, or don't do that. But actually your emotions are kind of your compass to how you should be feeling, and you always want to go into the direction of feeling better, like following your joy, that like the famous quote, like follow your bliss. So if we suppress our, internal compass of what it is that for us makes us happy and feel good, then over time it's like you kind of become numb to everything, and you use different crutches, just like different medications, or even herbs too can be a crutch too if you're not really ready to delve into those things that kind of you need to in order to feel very free and just enjoy your life. Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say too. Oh, do you use any special brushes, Mimosa? I remember we had those like boar bristle brushes.
Oh, I've seen that. I actually have one that's just made out of wood.
Yeah.
The bristles are just wood, and I feel like going and or just brushing my hair maybe like 50, 100 strokes at night and in the morning, or at night and in the morning. It is really like it's kind of like a way to massage your scalp, and it's really good. And it can induce like blood flow, and it can move the oils from the root to like the ends of your hair.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've learned a little trick over a little ways, just like a couple weeks ago, about brushing your hair with those boar bristle brushes. And the boar bristle brush is just made from the hairs of a boar. And so what you want to do is you can stand with your like legs apart, like shoulder length, with your knees slightly bent, and then like go all the way down, have your head fall the last bit, and then start from the back and bring it forward and make strokes all the way from the back to the front, because a lot of your sebum and the oils of your hair kind of collect in the back. So bringing that forward and then coming back up to stand and then brushing it back like this, and then doing that a couple rounds kind of distributes the oils evenly, and you can have like more, the oils are kind of like a natural shampoo too and conditioner. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to try that.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add, Mimosa?
Anything else?
I mean, there's just so many different things that we would do to address the different organs, so it kind of depends on each person, because the naturopathic medicine is so individualized. So, the herbs that we would choose have different personalities. So, choosing one for one person is going to be different from another person, whether they're constitutionally more hot or cold, or if they need more of like strength, which like some herbs kind of portray that sort of like personality.
Yeah. There's so, like you said, everyone is different, and so there's so many other things that we can do depending on their other concerns, and always looking at their environmental health. Are they drinking the proper clean water? Are they breathing good clean air? Is there like anything else? Do they need to detox? There's a lot of different things that we can address, and it's everyone's different. Every protocol will be different, but pretty much that's like the basics of what we would do, what to look at, what people can tell their doctors to look at if they miss it.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks for joining us today. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I got myself some tacos today, so that was fun. And what about you, Mimosa? Anything cool going on tonight?
Nothing yet. Just kind of seeing where the day takes me.
Yeah, awesome. It's really nice and sunny over here in New Haven, Connecticut. And we're going to just do some work after this, and we can talk to you later.
Awesome.
Bye, Mimosa.